This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Lifeguard charged for St. Ann machete attack. 25-year-old lifeguard Jeffrey Shirley has been charged for injuring a man during a machete attack in Brownstown, St. Ann. Shirley, who is from Fairfield in Montego Bay, St. James, has been charged with wounding with intent. His court date is not yet finalized. The attack happened on the morning of December 4, 2021. The police report that the complainant was walking along the roadway when he was pounced upon by the accused, who was armed with a machete. Shirley subsequently inflicted several wounds to the complainant's upper body. The police were summoned and the complainant was transported to the hospital where he was admitted. Shirley was later arrested. Slain pregnant woman had children with alleged gang leader. The St. James police have confirmed that a pregnant woman who was yesterday shot dead in the arms of her teenage lover at her home in Norwood, St. James, is the baby mother of an accused gang leader currently behind bars facing murder charges. 33-year-old Swain Pennicott, otherwise called Susu, and who was 3 months pregnant, was killed along with 19-year-old Barrington Clark, otherwise called CJ, in the pre-dawn attack at Chico Lane in Hendon, Norwood. Both victims were unemployed. Reports are that about 3:50 a.m., Pennicott, who has 4-year-old twins, was asleep with Clark in her 2-apartment house when men armed with high-powered weapons and handguns kicked off a board gate and gained entry to the yard. The gunmen then broke a window and kicked open a door to the house, after which they opened a fire, hitting Pennicott and Clark multiple times before fleeing. When the police were alerted by residents, they found both deceased cuddling in the bloodied bed with several 9mm and 5.56 pence shells all over the room. Pennicott's twins were discovered unhurt in an adjoining room. A senior police officer told the news that the woman may have been targeted because of her relationship with the accused gangster, with whom she had the twins and Clark, who hailed from the adjoining community. Prior to the Norwood double murder, 2 other men, including a popular taxi operator, were injured in separate shooting incidents in downtown Montego Bay on Friday night. Investigators told the news that about 8:30 p.m., the 38-year-old taxi operator, who resides in Cambridge, St. James, and applies the downtown Montego Bay to Cambridge route, was attacked while at a taxi stand at the intersection of Barnett Street and Fish Lane. He was rushed to hospital where he was admitted in critical condition. 2 hours later, a 27-year-old man of a Norwood address was shot while seated in his Toyota Axio motor car at the Creek Street and the St. Clavers Avenue stoplight. He was also taken to hospital. Since the start of the year, the parish of St. James has seen a significant increase in murders, with at least 104 persons killed. Kingston upholstery shop destroyed by fire. Fire yesterday morning destroyed an upholstery shop on High Holborn Street in downtown Kingston. The shop's owner, Richard Branco Shepherd, told the news that he received a call about 10:30 a.m. that his business was on fire. The establishment was closed at the time of the blaze. An alarm was subsequently raised. Shepherd, who has been operating his shop for several years, has been left in despair. "Me a feel laughing," said Shepherd, who noted that he has suffered personal losses in the past. He pointed to a car theft in 2020 and a subsequent crash involving a vehicle for his business. Shepherd said he is yet to determine his next step following yesterday's fire, noting that he is facing a huge loss. Units from the Rollington Town and the Trenchtown fire stations responded to the blaze. The cause of the fire is yet to be determined. The fire at the shop damaged the roofs of adjoining houses, which saw residents fighting the blaze with buckets of water. Firefighters at the scene also joined the efforts. Relief and hope came for nervous residents when rain helped to douse the fire. Nothing rosy about Bedward Gardens now, people say. With nightly shootings, a somewhat fresh triple murder that rocked the community a month ago, and the tension and fear blanketing the community up to this day, residents say Bedward Gardens in St. Andrew is no longer a bed of roses. In line with reports from Superintendent William Kessler of the St. Andrew Central Division that there are repeated trade-offs of gunshots between thugs because of a presumed gang war between the Bedward Gardens gang and the Colored gang also known as the Gaza Gang, residents complained bitterly to the news about the situation in their community. Last week, Kessler said the police would be clamping down on the criminal elements affecting the area. We have shootings nightly in the Bedward Gardens area, and we believe that it is the gangs at each other. However, we are relentless, and there are several major operations in trend for these culprits. I am going to lead one of the biggest military police manhunts for these persons because most of them are properly wanted in relation to that triple murder, he said. Since the start of the year, there have been 30 murders and 23 shootings in the St. Andrew Central Police Division. It is unbearable now. It is very unbearable every night. Pure shootings and war and running up and down. We need a change. We need something to happen around here in Bedward Gardens because we are sick and tired. One woman who lives in Bedward Gardens told the news. You can't walk at night, so you hurry up and try to do things in the days. Shops and the little trying business people have to be locking shop early. Nobody don't want to get caught up in anything and lose them life. Though multiple shootings were noted, Kessler clarified, however, that there have been no murders in the community since the triple killing. Gangs are at each other nightly, creating mayhem, causing a lot of the residents to be really afraid. Even the security forces are afraid. However, we are relentless in pursuing them and bringing them to justice. In many occasions, the police and the JDF are in the middle, and the terrain is not of such, so it is very risky for our military personnel and police officers out there. Another resident, a 28-year-old man, told the news that we know this did go happen. Remember, me myself did tell the news that this was going to happen after the triple murder. We tell the people them that you soon hear about reprisals and hear that innocent people get caught up. It's not surprising. It only said that we don't see it big in the news unless people dead. Nobody not talking that we fear for our lives. We have to dead first. The triple murder jolted residents in the wee hours of Saturday, April 30. Reports are that about 4 a.m., thugs pounced upon 24-year-old Rashid Boppy Edwards, 18-year-old Keno Brains Ray, and their friend who was identified as Jackson at a shop in the community. Police were alerted, and when they arrived, Edwards, Ray, and Jackson were discovered lying outside the shop, a dirt track vicinity near a football field, with gunshot wounds. They were pronounced dead at hospital. The police had released 10 names of persons of interest they said may assist them in investigations. Last week, Kessler revealed that 2 of those 10 people reported to the police were questioned and provided useful information. On Saturday, May 28, Kevin Trigger Wright, 26, an engineer from Augusttown Road, St. Andrew, was charged with the murder of Ray, Edwards, and Jackson after a question and answer session with his attorney. Wright was charged with wounding with intent, illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. The owner of the shop where the 3 men had stopped to make purchases told the news that the lack of streetlights also contributed to the fear among residents. We don't have any streetlight run on our block. That makes the place more tense now with all this happening. You can't really see what happened outside after a certain time. It has always been like that. From I came here, we had no streetlight. Another resident applauded the police for their efforts thus far, but demanded more urgency in taming the gangs wreaking havoc in the community. Imagine how fed up we are. Imagine the children too. We want the police to stay on top of this and not just give us 9-day talk. We know them are work and investigate, but we just remind them that it is grimy right now. Cooley charged after alleged death threats. A man who pulled a firearm and threatened to kill another at a bar in Miketown, Manchester on Wednesday has been charged with assault at common law and illegal possession of firearm. He has been identified as a 38-year-old Lamont Brown, otherwise called Cooley, a carpenter of the community. Reports from the Mandeville police are that about 7:30 p.m., the complainant was at his bar when he was approached by Brown, who pulled a firearm from his waistband and pointed it in his direction, threatening to kill him. The incident was reported and an investigation launched. Brown was subsequently arrested after he was positively identified by the complainant. Stop hurting Jamaica's image, Bartlett appeals to criminals. In the wake of a recent United States travel advisory to its citizens to reconsider visiting some areas of Jamaica due to crime, Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett has issued an impassioned plea to criminals to refrain from nefarious activities which are tarnishing the image of the destination. He noted that even as less than 1% of all crimes are committed against the visitors, we will strive to improve and to get it down to 0. We continue to urge the minority, who continue to be violators of our laws and the crime producers, to desist, as even when their actions may be in the minority, it can be reflected to the destination. Bartlett, who is also a member of Parliament for St. James East Central, told the news. We maintain that visitors to Jamaica have enjoyed safe, secure, and seamless experiences. Indeed, 42% of all visitors to Jamaica are repeat visitors, and 82% of all the visitors to Jamaica are from the United States of America, Bartlett commented. He was speaking to the news following a housing agency of Jamaica ceremony to present letters of possession to some of the 535 householders who have completed payment for their lots in the Grinch Pen community on Friday. Finishing touches are now being applied to the nearly $1 billion resort squatter settlements upgrade project underway in the community, which among other things have transformed the stone and the dirt roads to asphalted thoroughfares. Bartlett, who suggested that a beautiful community was being created in Grinch Pen, noted, however, that a community is not about houses, water, road, and lights, but it is about people and the quality of life of the people, behavior, and their adherence to law amid order. And the Grinch Pen must build a tradition of being a law-abiding community where safety and security is a feature of the daily experience, Bartlett charged. He expressed the disappointment over recent reports of a spike in unlawful activities in the community. I want to start to walk up and down in Grinch Pen and feel good and feel safe that nothing not going to happen, but I don't feel so right now. And the $1 billion we're spending, that I drive myself to nuts almost to make sure we get to do this development, is to move you from the state of insecurity to security, Bartlett declared. I want to speak to all my little youth man them, the old man them, and the old lady them, who turn a blind eye and don't talk the truth. The place is going to mash up if you don't take charge of it and take charge of everything that happens here. Young people, it belongs to you. Don't let us destroy it. The future is yours. All that we are doing here today is about you. You are the ones who are going to inherit this place. Make sure that it is preserved. He underscored that in under 2 years along this corridor from Iberostar border right back to Ziva, between that space, nearly 4,000 new rooms are going to come. Meanwhile, he also announced that the second phase of the squatter settlements upgrade project, the construction of a sewer at a cost of $500 million, will get underway soon. The squatter settlements upgrade project is being financed by the Tourism Enhancement Fund. It is my view that if tourism is to mean anything, it must impact the communities around it and its plants and its machinery and its experiences, Bartlett told the residents. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.